Hello and welcome to my film review of the Free State of Jones. First of all, this film is, of course, obviously came out this year, 2016. Matthew McConaughey, directed by Gary Jones, and has a really great supporting cast with it. This is going to be an interesting review because it's a very interesting film. Let's just start with a quick synopsis here. This is based on a true story. Like any movie with that in there, they do romanticize a lot with this film. They really do. Well, basically, here's what the story is. The story is about a group of runaway slaves and Confederate AWOL, deserters who go back to their home in Mississippi and kind of form their own army because they feel that they've been wronged, that the rich are, they're not fighting for the rich anymore. They're not. They have their own reason. They basically become a union army, a small union army, and kind of control that part of Mississippi. And what happens afterwards with the Reconstruction and where it goes from there. And Matthew McConaughey plays a real life Civil War deserter who led this rebellion. His name's Newt, which I think is kind of interesting, but it's true. It's true. Would you like this film? Well, number one, let me tell you what's right with the film before we get with what's wrong with the film. It has beautiful cinematography. The film is beautiful to watch. It does not look cheap. It cost $50 million to make. I believe it. Because the film doesn't use a lot of, what I like to call digital porn, which is just those digital effects. If it uses a lot of digital effects, they are used the right way, where you can't tell they're digital effects. They help the shots. There's real blood packets. There's stuff like that. There's real guys riding real horses. There's guns, and you just see the old fashioned, the smoke and everything like that. It looks great. It looks wonderful, wonderful camera angles, none of this flat crap. It's a good looking movie. So cinematography, that's a plus. The cast, wonderful casting. McConaughey is who they spent the most money on, but on the other hand, the other actors are great, well cast. Never really heard of any of them. That's just me because I don't watch anything these days. I don't watch any television or anything. But they're a great cast. They really do work hard, and it shows on screen. They really have great chemistry. The script is okay. There's nothing wrong with the script. They could have really pushed the racial side of this. They could have pushed anywhere with this, but they kind of stuck to their guns, and I don't mind that. It doesn't take some liberties with his history. Yes, it does. But then again, all films do that. There's no such thing as a truly historically accurate film. So there's a plus there as well. Yes, the acting, the cast, the cinematography, the music's okay. There's nothing wrong. It's not too big. It's not too small. It is just right. I think it has a nice little feel to it. Some of the costuming and stuff looks great. So there's all the really good stuff. The failure of this film is in its editing. They hop around the 1860s and then jump forward 85 years to the 1940s, basically to a law case with his relative of Matthew McConaughey in a Mississippi court. And when it does that, when it jumps forward and jumps back and it really screws everything up. I understand why they had it in the film. By the end of the film, you understand why they do it, but it really took away from the film, in my opinion. The editing is just horrendous. Characters are not introduced. There's a few characters who are introduced, and that's great. They're introduced very well. Matthew McConaughey is in the film. Literally, he's in there in the first 10 minutes, and you don't know anything about him. He's got long bits of dialogue and stuff like that. He's doing things, and you're like, who the hell is this? You don't really know who he is until the film's really rolling along. So he's never really established. He has goals before you even know who he is. So it's kind of interesting there. They do a lot of that. And in my opinion, and also they'll have at the very beginning of the movie is a Civil War battle. They don't mention what battle it is. I guess it's not that important, to be perfectly honest. But like Civil War buffs, history buffs, like me, we like to see that kind of shit. So like if I'm watching Glory and at the very beginning it says Antietam Creek, I say, that's the Battle of Antietam. Or if I'm watching Gods and Generals where they way overdo it and they tell you each, who this private is, everything else, but they tell you everything right there. History buffs love that crap. They love seeing that kind of stuff. And the fact they don't mention it is kind of hard. Let me just check one thing here. I believe the film is a hard R. Let me just double check here. It doesn't say here. Okay. Yes, it is a hard R. Okay. I figured that. They give you that hard R in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Like I said, they don't do much digital stuff, but in the first 5 minutes of the movie, a guy gets his face blown off, and the first thing they do is zoom in on it. And I'm like, okay, that's a hard R. They give you the hard R right off the bat. And I appreciate that, and I respect that. Yes, it doesn't tone off on the violence. It doesn't tone off on the language. There's some very uncomfortable language in it, but it's stuff that in the 1860s it would have been perfectly okay. The film needs to be seen. It needs to be seen just so you can say, this is what's wrong with it, and this is what's right with it. It's not a perfect film. It's not even close to a perfect film. It would have been a wonderful 3-part HBO miniseries. I think it would have been awesome. They would have been able to get everything they wanted in there. Instead, they had to chop it up. I would love to see an unedited version of this film, uncut. I don't care if it's 5 hours long. I bet you it would be a wonderful, wonderful film. But as it is right now, it's broken. Big ups to Matthew McConaughey and his acting. I'm not a huge Matthew McConaughey fan, but when he makes a film and his heart is set on something, he gives one hell of a performance, and it really is a tour de force, and it is really a great film for him. It's a great performance. Like I said, all the actors are great in it. It's a great performance. It's just too bad that the film is chopped up like chop suey. So that's just my opinion on it. If you've seen this film, please let me know your opinions on it. I'd love to hear them. Go ahead and click on the comment section. Go ahead and let me know what you think of the Free State of Jones. Now, my overall feelings on it, I'm going to give you my rating. 1 star, don't pee on it if it's on fire. 5 stars, sell everything you own and jump naked off a bridge because you will never see anything better in your life. I give this film a solid 3.5 stars. It is good. When it's good, it's great. But it's broken. It's broken. And if it wasn't for the shortcomings, this film would be a 4.5 stars. Definitely. Just on the acting alone and the cinematography, which I think is just beautiful. Some of the camera angles are really, really wonderful. The way they do things, the way they portray things are great. But, again, I just feel it's broken. What do you think? So until next time, keep watching those movies, and thank you for watching. Catch you later.